Hi guys, Mark Devoe. Welcome back to this channel, A Conscious Time, and welcome to this video where we're going to be chatting all about manifestation. So you want to manifest, and what are the redundant programs that you have operating in the background. So before we jump in, for those that are new, we chat about all things navigating this world through the eyes of awareness and non-judgmental point of view, dropping guilt, and you'll take it from me and then go out and experience it. As soon as you drop guilt and judgment, you will see how you will flourish and your life will literally change. We have too much fear and guilt going on in our lives that keep us bound and doesn't allow us to expand from there. So awareness is unlimited. It's ever expanding. All right, but let's just jump into this video. I have been fascinated by manifestation, and I'm sure those that follow this channel are also very interested in manifestation. Have probably seen a lot out there in terms of manifestation. There's a lot of I'd say hogwash in terms of manifestation. There's some awesome stuff out there in terms of manifestation, but I find a lot of it is quite misleading. So I'd like to unpack this. It's quite a diverse topic. As I started writing down some notes in this video, this can be a starting point to get the juices flowing or the awareness going, to further go from there. But let's jump into it. This was inspired by a book by David Hawkins. It's called Letting Go, Pathway to Surrender, bridging that with some of my experiences in manifestation. And in the book Letting Go by David Hawkins, I'll put a link and a description in the bottom of this video, so you can go and check that book out. In a nutshell, he talks about letting go and the programs that are running our lives, redundant programs. And let me just look down on my computer here to just give a short little concise overview of what the book is about. I'll put this in the link below. So the main point of this book is to show you how to best handle your thoughts and emotions, to not judge or resist when you are feeling hard emotions or thinking negatively. Simply observe and let yourself experience it fully, the good, the bad, and the ugly. When you let go of labeling things as bad, that emotion can physically move through and release from the body. Okay, so that's a very, very short description, but it kind of highlights what the book is basically about not resisting those emotions, allowing them to flow through the eyes of awareness. And a lot of the time when we have negative emotions, we actually resist that, and it creates more of that. It doesn't allow it to release. So I hope that gives a little bit of backdrop, and I'm linking this and bridging this with how we now want to manifest and maybe change things in our lives. I go back to a common saying that I always say from Neville Goddard in a lot of other of my videos. You are perfectly expressing yourself consciously or unconsciously. So that is your creative power. But a lot of us are unconscious. We are subject to the world, and we have not taken back our creative God-given gifts to now create. And we've also only got a certain amount of, or a limited time to manifest. So you'd think, and there's so much manifestation of it's a lot of the time it's financial gain, isn't it? It's money. It's trying to manifest big cars, big lifestyles, money, etc. But a lot of us out there do not want to manifest those things per se. At the end of the day, financial gain is great, but that's a means to an end, isn't it? So just to become aware of that. So why you think manifestation, if manifestation was so easy, we would all be manifesting. And the point is, it's not that easy to just manifest. And a lot of us also, we're always manifesting, but we also are not always manifesting those cars or flashy things. We are manifesting other things that we want in our life, because we also only have a limited amount of time in the day to manifest. Otherwise, we could probably manifest all sorts of things all day long. But we need to stay focused, and I want to stay focused on this video as well. So I'm just going to look down my computer here just to keep me on track. So the first point I would say is meditation is a great tool to firstly become aware of your thoughts that are your redundant programs per se, or some of the thoughts that are repeatedly going through your mind all the time, because that is what you are going to create all the time. Until you are aware of a lot of those programs or thought patterns, you're not going to be able to change it. So meditation is going to firstly allow you to see those. And there are some meditations, I've done quite a few of them before, where you sit and you just watch the thoughts. And it's amazing to see the thoughts that come and go. You don't judge the thoughts, you just allow them to come and go, and then you focus back on your breath or whatever else you are focusing on in meditation. But what that does is it actually allows you to see some of the thoughts that don't necessarily have meaning. And you just become aware of the thoughts that are going through your mind all the time. So now, once you become aware of your thoughts, you can now apply that in your everyday life and to see what your programs are, because each person's program is going to be different. Some people might have been brought up in a very positive upbringing, so maybe their programs create a positive outlook all the time, whereas a lot of us, many of us, have maybe been brought up negatively. So now we've got these negative programs running through our minds. But without awareness, we're not going to see this clearly. You might think, oh, that's unfair. It's not actually unfair, because from a higher level, you might have chosen that journey for yourself. I'm not going to go down that road, but the point is, through awareness and through maybe pain and suffering, you can start becoming aware and maybe changing those things. You know, some of the greatest changes in life in people's lives have come from a very negative background. So if anyone's in a very negative position, or take heart, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and you're where you're meant to be. So I don't want to jump off course. I want to just stay on course here. But meditation is going to be a key factor in firstly allowing to see what some of those redundant programs are going through your mind, so that you can now start changing them, and you can start manifesting what you would like in your life. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So a real world example, I can say for myself, firstly, I've manifested amazing things in my life. But I've also, when things have become a little bit stressful, I've noticed myself going back to almost, let's say, if it's a financial situation, I've manifested financial gains, but I've also had financial challenges that now put me into a negative scarcity mindset again. And now I'm aware of this because of my upbringing or traumas in inverted commas, that we all are subject to from most of us from childhood. We have traumas. So through the hours of awareness, I've seen some of those traumas and redundant or repetitive programs that I sometimes fall back into when a traumatic event or something happens in my life that triggers that. So once you can see that, you can start flipping that again. You can start tapping into your creative power and start creating again positive outcomes that you would like. So maybe it's writing down things, meditating, disciplining the mind again to not be swept away in fear, in guilt, etc. And now you can start manifesting once again the positive outlooks that you would like. So I hope that does make a little bit of sense. I've noticed that in close members, where let's talk about financial again. There's not financially, that person is in a fine position, but something challenging is happening, and their perspective for the future is not so, in their own mind, they don't think it's very positive, and you can see that fear coming over that person, and they've already projected themselves into a very fearful future, and that could be based on a redundant program that they have not switched and they are not aware of, and they're not tapping into the positive manifestation that they would like to create. All right, so yeah, I hope that does make sense. So I just find this such an amazing concept and a beautiful concept to tap into, which is manifestation. It's not necessarily to gain things. The gaining thing is an added bonus, whether it's financial or creating something interesting in your life, a project or whatever it is, a target or whatever it is. For me, it's a verification of the power that we have been given by God to manifest and create. Once you tap into that and you start becoming aware of that and seeing that, that's when it becomes exciting. Most of us are walking around asleep and not seeing the things that we create. And then when something does happen positively, we just think it's random things that are happening to us. The same as negative, we just think it's random things. Or sometimes we say, oh, woe is me, this always happens to me. That's a redundant program. But the point is, once you start becoming aware of things and your thoughts that are going through your mind, that's when it becomes exciting, because now you can see how that has manifested it will manifest in your life, if that's the right terminology, what you have created. And now you can start creating what you would like in your life, writing them down, setting targets, living in that present feeling, as Neville Goddard would say. Don't live in the future that's going to happen. Live in the feeling now that it's already happened, that you've already been given. So I think Jesus says that as well. Believe that it has already been given to you. And that's the law of attraction. I know we've spoken about that in some of my other videos. So that's what I find very exciting about manifesting, is tapping into that God-given creative power. Okay, so I'll try and wrap this up. Some takeaways. I've mentioned becoming aware of your thoughts and programs. Most of them are redundant. They're negative. Most of the time they are negative because we are subject to this world. And a lot of the time this world can be quite a negative place. That can be debatable, because you can change it through your own mindset and belief system to be a totally beautiful world. And then I've mentioned meditation. That I would definitely highly recommend meditating, because it gives you that seat of awareness to watch the thoughts and to see how random thoughts can be, and how you also are just subject to a lot of redundant thoughts and programs from your childhood. Okay. And then a step further, and this is a little bit higher on the spiritual side, I would say you're either subject to the world, or you are, and you're manifesting now, either primed by the world, or what's being fed by you by the world, or you are tapping into the Holy Spirit given by God. So when you're manifesting now, Spirit-led, that is tapping into a totally another power realm, as opposed to manifesting being subject to the world. Because a lot of the time now you're going to be manifesting maybe materialistic things. There's nothing wrong with materialistic things and enjoying those things for what they are. But as soon as you get attached to it, that's when the problem comes, because you're going to have to let them go sooner or later. When you're Spirit-led now, you have a will and a purpose. Your will is with God. So this is on a higher level. So I hope I haven't jumped around a bit. I'm going to link some of the links from what I've talked about in terms of breaking the book down from Letting Go by David Hawkins, and I'll put in a little bit of the script that I've mentioned, or looking down on my computer now too. So hopefully that helps. Give me some of your thoughts. Any questions, any experiences, I look forward to hearing from you. Hopefully this has added value. If it has, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll check you on the next one.